Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. This is another AFU match day, and before we even get into the football stuff, I hope you all had a very good New Year's Eve. I hope you're all recovering from your hangovers wherever you are in the world. I hope you've had an absolute bender of a night and you're now recovering with, well, what's the usual hangover treatment? A McDonald's, some nuggets, some milkshakes, just chilling out with some burgers, whatever it is. I hope you're all having a good time. I hope you're all ready for a new year that's hopefully 10 times better than 2020, because that can get fucked. Get in the comments, let me know how you're feeling. And of course, as usual, I want you to help us reach that 20 like target. So everyone that's watching right now, there's over 100 of you in the stream right now. Make sure you are liking this video and let's get to that target. We've got an exciting show for you. This is the pre-game show. You've got me throughout the day for match day. This is the pre-game. We're going to take you through the team news, which I believe is already out. And now that's a little bit early, so I'm going to try and find it. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking of the prospect of this game, because Aston Villa, they're not an easy team. They're not an easy team to play against. They're in good form. They're unbeaten in their last 5. Well, the team's not in just yet. I've got some bad information there. One of my guests in the backstage is giving me wrong information. That's fantastic. I'll call him out when he gets on. But yeah, get in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. How you feeling about 2021 in general and in terms of United. Do you think we're going to go and continue this fantastic title charge that we're on, of course? And do you think we can win today? Because obviously you want to start the year with a positive. You want to start on a winning note. No one wants to lose their first game of the season. And like I said, Aston Villa are a tricky team, unbeaten in the last 5. And they're playing well in those games. They're creating a lot of chances. And I read somewhere the other day that most of their goals this season have been scored either in the first 15 minutes of a game, where they scored about 5, and in the last 30 of the game, where they've scored about 14. So in my opinion, we've got to be worried about that first 15 minutes, because we know United have not started games well this season. We are starting slow, and we take time to grow into the game. So I think if we stay solid in those first 15 minutes, we should be okay. That's my prediction anyway. But I'm predicting a tough game. I think if we're gonna get any success, I think we've got to keep Jack Grealish quiet. I love Jack Grealish. Everyone knows that by now. But if we can keep him quiet and we can take advantage of the space he leaves in behind, I think we can get some success. And I think that's why we could see Dan James start today, because he'll obviously be on the same flank as Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is not going to be someone who tracks back all the time to go and recover and to cover up space, but he'll be someone who does the attacking side of things. And that leaves potentially a one-on-one for Dan James against the fullback. That's just my guess. That's what I would do personally. But hey, team news isn't that far away. I've got some fantastic guests in the backstage. I'm going to bring some in very, very soon. But first, comments. Get in. Let me know what you're thinking. Get me your score predictions. Brown Knights in the comments. First game of the season. It's the first game of the year, mate. We actually did lose the first game of the season. Yeah, I meant the first game of the year. That's what. But no one wants to lose that either. Stuart's in the comments. Happy New Year, mate. Double pivot. Yeah, probably. I mean, when have we not played a double pivot? Unless we're playing, 5 at the back. I personally want us to play a single pivot, a 4-3-3, but we're not gonna see that. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1, which I think personally it could be McTominay and Pogba. That's the one I would go for. You could argue maybe Matic, but against a team as energetic as Villa, you want someone like a McTominay in there. You could argue Fred, but I just think he's going to go with McTominay. I just feel it. McTominay and Pogba, that's what I think. David's in the comments. He's on Facebook. First of all, David, before I answer your question, head over to youtube.com/AllForUnited and come watch us over there, and make sure to like the video as well. Team news is not out yet. We are just about 5 or so minutes left, but make sure you stay here, because you'll get your team news here first. I guarantee you will be the first on the internet, other than obviously the United Twitter account, but who wants to look at that? Hammer's in. Well, Temmy's here. Temmy, what a legend! Listen to Temmy. Hit the like button, everyone. If Temmy says something, you do it. Hammer's in the comments. Happy New Year, guys. Let's get this first W to start off the new year. First dub. That's what we want. And one of our, well, this could be a guest. You never know. It's the Worldwide Red Show. He says, "What's good, everyone?" Everyone answers question to let us know how you are. Happy New Year, pal, says Ryan. Score predictions. I think. Also, that's a fantastic picture you've got there, Ryan, I must say. Score prediction, I'm going to say United. No, I'm not going to tell you my score prediction yet. I want to see the team first. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I've made this mistake before. But yeah, how are we all feeling? Hammer's already liked the video. Fantastic. Yeah, how are we all feeling then? Let me know. Do you think this is going to be a good year? How important is this game to us? That's what I am asking you guys. I think if we win today, it sets a message, it sets a tone, it sets a standard. That's what we've got to do today. We've got to play well. And of course, if we win, join top of the league. Hey, that doesn't sound too bad now, does it? But let's see. Let's bring on our first guest then. Everyone like the damn video if you want to get rid of my face and you want another face on here. Yeah? You're bored of seeing me. You see me every week. Come on, hit the like button. Let's see how many likes we're on. Brown Knight's usually the one that tells me how many likes we're on. Come on, tell me, Brown Knight. How many are we on? Let's have a look. We're on 8 likes already. This is fantastic progress. We just need another 12 more. Come on, get involved. This game is big for us. David, what are you still doing on Facebook, my mate? Get on YouTube. Come on, youtube.com/allforunited. What are you doing? I don't want to see that F logo on there. Worldwide Red Show's here. Sean's just cheeky. He's messaging from the backstage here. Feeling nervous today because this could be a big statement. Got to get it done. He's not wrong. Ryan, before I get my first guest out, will we see Donny tonight? Because Douglas Luiz and John McGinn are very solid in the middle. Maybe we need 2 attacking midfielders. Maybe. I don't think we'll see Donny. I think we will see a double pivot just because we want to be a bit more secure. Greenwood to score tonight. I've got a funny story about Mason Greenwood, but I don't know if I can tell that, so I'm not going to. I'm not sure I should, so I won't. Right, let's get the first guest on. He's been on the channel before, so you will recognise him. Hang on. Stop ruining my introductions. Karthik hates the F word. That is a big lie. That's a big lie. Right, first guest. Let's get him on. No more messing about. Welcome, Mr. John Silk. How are you doing, mate?
Hi, yeah, I'm doing good. And you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's your New Year's Eve?
Sure, I guess like many of us, fairly quiet.
Yeah.
I was with one friend and we sort of emerged and looked up at the sky, and there were a few fireworks here where I am. Yeah, drunk, but you know what, like a normal Thursday night in a way.
Fair enough. How are you feeling about today's game then? Are you confident? Are you a little bit worried because Villa are in good form?
Yeah, I think a little bit worried is actually probably the right words for it. Yeah, a little bit anxious, a few butterflies, which, you know, there's this difference to how it was sort of 10 or 15 years ago under Fergie, I think, whereas there was a lot of expectation in those days. And if we weren't leading 2-0 at half time, we were wondering what's going on. Now we sort of fear going behind, as you mentioned before, or we fear being half time or an hour and we're still level like we were against Wolves. So there is that. And of course, you know, there's this just tiny expectation just building as we see that we're in touching distance for the first time in 7 years, you know, at the beginning of the new year, put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, if you told United fans last year that, you know, at the end of 2020 we'd be second in the league behind Liverpool within touching distance with a game in hand, I mean, we'd have all just called you stupid, never mind being told that, you know, we wouldn't be in Old Trafford again after March. So definitely this is a chance to put a big statement out. In terms of how we go about today then, is there anyone in particular you want to see start against Villa today?
Yeah, Edison Cavani.
well, yeah, unfortunately, we just forget.
Yeah. Well,
how big of a miss do you think he'll be?
Say again?
How big of a miss do you think he'll be today?
I think today, yeah, a little bit of a miss. Certainly as an option from the bench. I mean, I think he's good enough to start, but at 33 years old, maybe starting 2 games in 2 or 3 days would have been too much anyway. I think he might have been a substitute anyway. I think he'll actually be missed for the 2 cup ties coming up, because I think he probably would have played one or both of those from the start. But I was probably expecting him maybe to drop to the bench today, just given that he started the other day. And I think that's something to bear in mind. We saw how the game against Wolves evolved, certainly in the last half an hour, where United were pressing, albeit not creating a lot of chances. I think Wolves did begin to tire a bit in the last half an hour. And this could happen to United. Don't forget that we played 9 p.m. 72 hours ago, I think it was. Villa had another, 27, 28 hours extra rest because they played Chelsea on the afternoon of Boxing Day, I think it was, or whatever it was. But they certainly had at least 24 hours, advantage. So I think we can freshen things up a bit more than most sides in the Premier League. Even your Aston Villas and Southamptons and Evertons and Villas who are sort of there or thereabouts, we can do a bit more than they can. I think we can change 5 or 6 and not disrupt things too much. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing who is in the lineup. And I quite like your McTominay-Pogba combo. I think that's one that I would favour too.
Yeah, definitely. We are probably about 30 or so seconds away from the team coming in. Before we do that, then everyone hit the like button. Let's whack it in as the team news comes on. I think I might have it in front of me now. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay. So United's lineup today then is David De Gea in goal. We've got, I hate the way they write this lineup, by the way. Get it in the position order, not numerical. Wan-Bissaka at right back. It's Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly at centre back. Luke Shaw starts at left back. The midfield is actually Fred and Paul Pogba, with Bruno Fernandes in the 10, with Marcus Rashford on the left. Hang on a minute. Who have we got at right wing? I don't see a right winger on there. Oh, wait, sorry. Apologies. I think we might be going diamond. I see Scott McTominay as well. Yep, it looks like a diamond. So it's going to be, apologies, I'll say that again. Scott McTominay in the 6, Paul Pogba and Fred up ahead of him, with Bruno Fernandes in the 10, and that's Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial up front. On the bench for United are Dean Henderson, Alex Telles, Axel Tuanzebe, Daniel James, Jesse Lingard has made a Premier League bench, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van de Beek, and Mason Greenwood. John, initial thoughts then, what do you make of it?
Well, of course, all United fans like me would have been, concerned to hear that Marcus Rojo was out injured. So he didn't quite make the lineup today. Obviously, I'm being facetious there. Next time, if you can laugh when I'm doing a sarcastic joke, that would be great. I think you took me seriously when I said Marcus Rojo. Right?
I did. Marcus Rojo is a fantastic footballer. What are we talking about? Yeah, I love Marcus Rojo.
Maybe circa 2014 Argentina World Cup, perhaps. But, he did all right in the UEFA Cup run. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. I think it's a surprising lineup. I mean, Solskjaer does have that potential and element of surprise, much like Fergie would sometimes do. I didn't think many people predicted a diamond. I certainly didn't. I mean, once you said Fred and Pogba were starting, I was thinking, well, that's quite an attacking midfield duo, if you like. But then when you throw in McTominay there, yeah, that's interesting. I was expecting Greenwood to start, but there's a quiet confidence, I think, to some extent with Solskjaer tactically. I think there are other strengths and weaknesses that maybe he brings to the party as a coach, but tactically, I think I do trust him. So he obviously feels as though the diamond is the way to go. Maybe try and make it a bit more congested in there. Maybe make it a bit tighter for Grealish to weave his magic. I mean, as you said before, that's the guy we need to, try and keep quiet.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope Ben is watching this and is so proud of you, because I've just spent the amount of time that you've been talking, typing up that team to get us a nice little banner at the bottom. This is Sky Sports Desk. This is what you're here for. Like the video just for that. I've put loads of effort into that. Anyway, about the diamond then, as Brown Knight says, we all know that I love a diamond formation. Do you think it's the best way to set up this United team, or do you reckon, you'd prefer the double pivot?
I probably prefer the double pivot. Like for most games, I don't imagine we'll be doing the diamond against Liverpool, for example, in a couple of weeks. I think he sees it as a tactical thing. Now, whether he just feels as though he wants to, really congest things in the centre of the park. I also think it also depends on who the fullbacks are and who's available. I mean, I think if Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw weren't available, for example, I think he would have less faith in the fullbacks to provide that width, particularly Luke Shaw down the left. I think he was a dead cert to start today. I heard some people questioning why Telles came off. Well, I think we saw that Luke Shaw had a pretty good second half and was an extra threat in comparison to Telles the other day. So I think Luke Shaw definitely offers us the width down the left. Wan-Bissaka, well, we know his deficiencies when it comes to going forward, but I still think he's the best right back at the club, and he's actually the best right back going forward too, because forget Fosu-Mensah as an option, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone liked the video. John, thanks for coming on. Before you leave, score prediction and goal scorers.
I'm going to go for another clean sheet. I think Bai did well the other day. I did sort of tweet about 20 minutes in some questions about Bai, and he sort of makes me nervous. But to be fair, he's one of the best players on the park against Wolves. Sorry. I'm going to go with a clean sheet, and I'm going to say 2-0. But you can tell there's an anxiety to that prediction.
John's not too sure, but I hope he's right, and we do keep a clean sheet. Thank you so much for coming on, John. We'll see you in a bit. Nice one.
Cheers.
Right, guys, that was John. He's sharing our thoughts. He is expecting a tough game, and I think he's right to expect something like that because, hey, Aston Villa are in good form. That is a great team. Before we bring on our next guest, let's have a look at the Aston Villa team news because, of course, United can set up however they like, but we've got to know what Villa are bringing up. Their team news is Martinez in goal, Cash, Conte, Mings, and Target at the back. No surprise there. The midfielders, John McGinn and Douglas Luiz, Traore, Jack Grealish, and El Ghazi. El Ghazi's in fantastic form, by the way. And, of course, Ollie Watkins up front, who I was discussing this with a friend of mine. If Jack Grealish has got 5 goals and 6 assists in the league so far, he could have a lot more. That number's lying to you because if Ollie Watkins was in a bit of better form, he'd be finishing half the chances that Jack Grealish is creating for them, which is why I think we've got to make sure we are on Watkins today. Eric Bailly's got to be on him because Harry Maguire can't keep up with him for pace. And El Ghazi as well. Luke Shaw's got to be on him. And I think he will be because let's not forget he's played very well so far this season. But yeah, what do you guys think of the lineup? Let's have a look. Temi thinks it's very solid. Stuart thinks that this is a bit of a thrown curveball from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe. As Brown Knight backs it up with all his tricky reds, you never know. That's in response to this. Yeah. We're assuming it's a diamond because, as we know, Ollie does like to play Pogba on the left sometimes and give him a bit of a freer role. So it could be a 4-2-3-1. I'm sure he's going to tell me that when he comes on in a bit. But yeah, let's bring on our next guest then. It is Alan. Alan, how you doing, mate?
Doing great, yes. How are you doing, Karthik?
I'm not too bad. What do you make of the team news then?
Team news is pretty solid. Bit tensed as well because by winning this game, we'll go on tie with Liverpool. So it's always a pressure game moving forward, and we have to give out our best today. We have to come out as the most hardworking team. And even Villa has put in a very dangerous team as well. So we need to be on front foot from the beginning, and we have to be clinical as well.
Yep, definitely. You mentioned that Villa have got a very strong team as well. I mean, we saw their team. They've got some great players in there. What are the matchups that you're seeing? Is there a particular area of the pitch that you think we've got to be really, switched on? Or is there several areas?
I think Wan-Bissaka has to be spot on tonight because Grealish is going to run around that left-hand side. And with that hard-working player there, Ollie Watkins, he's going to press us out. So we have to play carefully from the back. We have to be solid in our build-up. And at the same time, I think we'll be going with the double pivot itself with Pogba on the left. I think it suits him well as well. We need to be on front foot from the beginning. So that'll really help us. Whenever we see the Fred McTominay pair, we always go with the double pivot itself. So I'm trusting Ollie to go with the double pivot, and I think that'll work for us today. And we'll have to be defensively strong as well. We saw how they battered Liverpool, so we have to be confident while playing. So it's a big game for us.
Definitely. The comments are still coming in. Hammer says Bailly's foot is still good after being stepped on. Yeah, I mean, it looked like a bit of a knock. I don't think it was anything else. Listen to Brown Knight. Smash that like button. What are we on now? We're on a massive 13 likes. Let's get the last 7 before the end of this show. Ashley's in the comments. Pleased with that. Bags of creativity in that front four. That midfielder's proven he can keep things tight in big games. And I can't believe I'm calling Villa a big game. Hey, but they are this season. Brown Knight wants me to give them the bench. I will do that right now, my mate. Let's have a look again. Hang on. Right, the starting teams are at the bottom of your screen, so you should be able to see that. The United bench is Dean Henderson, Alex Telles, Axel Tuanzebe, Daniel James, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van der Beek, and Mason Greenwood. That's not too bad a bench, is it, Alan?
Yeah, it's a pretty good bench as well. I think hopefully we can see someone like Donny van de Beek start today's game. Come on as a sub for today's game. And also, Ian mentioned earlier about Dan James as well, exploiting the space that Villa can give out on the wing, and using his space that could help us maybe in the latter stages of the game when fatigue plays a role in the game, because we played 48 hours back. So that'll really affect us, I think, and we'll have to be careful with that as well, because moving forward we have the games coming up, and we have to choose whatever it is. Whenever we are going for the subs for today's game, it has to be the right ones, otherwise the game might go out of our hands.
Fair play, fair play. No, I think you do have a point with Dan James, and obviously I said it earlier that Jack Grealish is going to be their key man, and he likes to float inside as well. There was an XG plot I was looking at yesterday. I don't know if I can bring it up right now. It would take too much effort to do that. But most of his shots come from inside the box in narrow areas. So he loves to cut in from that side because he does predominantly start on the left-hand side. And I think today he will start in the 10 because El Ghazi is playing. So that gives us even more of a threat. And that might actually change what I said about Dan James because, hey, I mean, if Jack Grealish is starting in the 10, that's less space on the width. So maybe Ollie saw one coming there. Do you think El Ghazi is someone we need to worry about because he seems to be in good form at the minute?
Yeah, I think we have to be worried about each and every player in the Villa team. We can see Burton Traore is a dangerous player as well, but he fails to track back as well. So we could use that space into our advantage. So that's something we need to look into. And then the defense, Villa's defense. They've had one of the best defense in this Premier League at the moment. I guess second best or something. They've played less games, but still with Emi Martinez and Matty Cash coming in as well, right back. He's been pretty solid. And Emi Martinez has been an unbelievable signing. I think it's been the best signing in Premier League this season. I think it was a big bargain for them from Arsenal. I think Arsenal might be pissed off after seeing Emi Martinez go there, and he's been doing great at Villa, and it's unbelievable as well. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Emi Martinez is a fantastic goalkeeper, and I think he is one of those keepers. Like, we had Sergio Romero at one point, and we were saying that he would be anyone's number one. Why is he our number two, sort of thing? But no, definitely. In terms of Villa's form, then. I mean, looking off their last 5 games, let's say, they are around performing as per or maybe slightly underperforming their XG. I know they slightly underperformed it against Chelsea and, of course, the one that they won 4-0. I can't remember who they played. Was it West Brom? It might have been West Brom 3-0, and they should have scored for about 4 or 5, I think. But yeah, they're sort of matching their XG. So does that show us how important it is to make sure that they don't create chances? Because even against Chelsea, which is probably our direct sort of comparison to a team similar to us in terms of stature, anyway, they created a lot of chances against them. So do you think that's the key area that we need to think about in terms of our defense?
Yeah, definitely. We need to take care of that area, chance creations. I think we'll also create a good amount of chances. I think we have to convert them as soon as possible. That'll settle us. That'll settle the defense. I think whenever we are 1-0 up or 2-0 up, say 2-0 up in the first half, we are pretty comfortable. We tend to be a bit more relaxed and concentrated. We tend to have a relaxed mind as well, because as I said earlier, we played match 48 hours back, so fatigue will come in. So we need to be careful with that. And I think the team that comes out more clinical will win this game. I think Ollie Watkins against Crystal Palace, he had some 10 shots or something. And that's a record in Premier League match. That's in 3 years or something. So he didn't score in those 10 shots which he took against Crystal Palace. So that's some. And if Ollie Watkins ever starts scoring, I think it'll be something dangerous. I think someone other than Grealish we'll have to look at in terms of finishing. He's not been great, and I hope he doesn't turn up against United in terms of the finishing accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said it the other day. Ollie Watkins is a fantastic striker. I think he's performed really well when coming into the Premier League. I didn't expect him to hit the ground running like he did. He's going through that kind of spell where, as a striker, you're getting into the right positions, you're getting those chances, you're taking the chance well. You're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. That's the only thing that's not happening for you. I mean, I think it was against, West Brom. He hit the post 3 or 4 times, and it was just one of those days where it wasn't going in. So what I was thinking at that moment is he's going to score against us, isn't he? It's just in the stars. That's just what happens against us. But yeah, I mean, let's look at the comments. What they're making of it. They beat Palace with 10 men, says Brown Knight. That sums up Villa. Well, I mean, they were on top anyway in that game, weren't they, though? They were always good. Yeah. Palace are a bit of a flip-floppy team. He's been in for a few games running now, so is Bailly getting sent off for injured tonight? That's the talking point, because we played 3 games in 6 days, and we've still got a fit Eric Bailly. How important do you think it is for him to stay fit? And do you think when he is fit, he's first choice over Lindelof, or do you think Lindelof comes straight back in when he's fit?
I think Wolves game, we saw that counter-attack coming in from Adama Traore. I think that was a key element that we saw was lacking in our defense when Lindelof was playing for us. But when we see Lindelof in the team, we see a much more relaxed player who tends to pass from the back, and someone who at times does a better game compared to Harry Maguire as well. So Lindelof is an important player. He's started more games with Maguire. So based on that connectivity, I think that partnership hasn't worked a lot from the time they've started playing, but it's been the most settled one. But with Eric Bailly coming in, I think that recovery pace is something that caught our eyes, and something I'm looking forward to today's game as well. And we have to be careful with certain players with pace in the Villa team. So hopefully Eric Bailly stays fit most of the games that we're playing moving forward.
Fair play, fair play. Everyone like the video. Make sure to follow up Alan on Twitter. He's fantastic. Alan, before you go, score prediction and goal scorers.
Since I've been stressing about Ollie Watkins, I think I'll go with the United win, 3-1 win. I think that 1 goal will be scored by Ollie Watkins with a Grealish assist, and 3 goals, hopefully Martial scores. We need to get him on form. I think he's scored 1 or 2 in the previous games and an assist. So tough games are coming in, and with Liverpool coming in as well, we need him on form. And so I think Martial will score a goal, Rashford maybe 1, and a Fernandes penalty.
All right, nice one. Thank you for coming on, Alan. We shall see you in a bit. Cheers for coming on. Right, guys, that was Alan. We've got one more guest, and I bet you can't guess who it is because he's been chatting all day. He's been patiently waiting. I'll bring him on in a sec. Once we've hit some more likes, guys, make sure to hit the like button. And if you are watching the video now, make sure to give it a cheeky share so we can get all your friends and family watching us, looking at my face, if they so choose to do that. Big news coming in right now is West Ham have just scored against Everton, meaning Everton will now drop points, meaning that United's title charge is still gaining momentum. Fantastic. We need to win today. We really do need to win. Bailly's our best centre-back, says Stuart. We just rarely get to see it because of injury. You know what? I was thinking that the other day that, when he first came in, we looked at him and we thought, you know what, this is the guy. This is the guy. He's going to play every game. He's going to be our first choice. It's just injuries. I really rate Eric Bailly. He's a fucking psychopath, but he's a fantastic defender. I love him, and I personally have him after every game. Hammers have been the better team. We're not talking about West Ham here. Come on. We're talking about United. So we're going to bring on our final guest. That is Sean. How are you doing?
Going on, guys? How's it feel to be in 21? Right?
21. Are you trying?
20. Get 20 in the bin.
Did you just say bin 20 and make it 21 titles? Is that what you just said?
2-1 and 21 and 21. But watch this. After we win 9-0 today, we go from second to first. It's written in the stars. And listen, all of you guys that are watching this in the comment section right now, do your favorite, second favorite Irishman a favor and put your one. Well, I'm not really from Ireland, but put your one finger in the air, right? Move it this way and smash the like button, guys. Get the likes up. Let's go. Let's do
This
this.
is what I love.
How you
I
doing,
love this
Karthik? Good
energy.
to see you, man.
I love this energy. I love this energy. I'm doing good, mate. How are you feeling about the team then? First of all, are you confident?
Oh, can we be overly confident with we never know what type of Jekyll and Hyde performance we're liable to get from this team. We're liable to get the type of team that was smashed Bayern Munich on the break 5-0, or the team that bores us half to death and we're ready to kill everyone during the Wolves game, only to snatch a late winner and we all go crazy as if we're partying like it's 1999. So listen, I'm just excited. I don't even talk about the negatives. I don't even get into the stuff I don't like. I'm just riding the wave saying 21 is coming.
That's what I love to see. Everyone liked the video just for Sean saying that we're going to win the league. This is fantastic. This is the best way to end this video. No, when the team came in, I saw your comment saying we're assuming it's a diamond. I'm not going to give away your point for you, but go on, tell me your thoughts on it and tell me why you think it might not be a diamond.
Well, because I think that my host here does a little coaching and knows a little bit about coaching, so I don't want to bore too many people with the nuances of coaching, but I may have coached some sports from time to time, and one thing I know is just because you have a certain shape doesn't mean you're playing it a certain way. And I think one of the biggest problems that United have at times is when we use Paul Pogba in a double pivot and we use him defensively. Same with Scott McTominay. I don't like Scotty McPassion as a defensive player, but when we see how he played against Leeds in the double pivot, but as a box-to-box player getting ahead of Bruno, the same way Paul Pogba plays for France. People say, oh, well, Paul plays in the double pivot for France. He plays a different style than how we typically play it. It's like saying that because we're playing 4-4-2 with Sir Alex, it's the same as Tony Pulis's 4-4-2. Just because you line up the same doesn't mean you're playing it the same. So for me, all he said himself in a press conference when people were questioning about the diamond, he said, how many times have we actually played the diamond? Not as many times as you think. Because sometimes I think when we see certain players playing together, we assume it's going to be a diamond. I don't mind the diamond formation in specific instances. I really like it. I think in some situations for our personnel, it really suits us. However, what I was going to say, the host said already, and that sometimes Mr. Paul Pogba gets moved out to the left or all over where he gets more of a free roll. And if you are going to allow two players to have a free roll, which we know Bruno Fernandes has a free roll, he could go wherever he wants, do whatever he wants, coach how he wants, bench who he wants. He can do whatever, and we just got to sit down and shut up and let him do his thing. But when you're playing three midfielders, you can't have two like that. So that's what affects sometimes when Paul and Bruno play together. When they both try to play too free, it leaves us exposed, and our midfield just gets cut through too easy, and we're too easy to play against. But in a four in the midfield, if we're playing a diamond, it gives a more free roll to those two. And I got time for it because I'm all for gunslinging. I think if we came out wheeling and dealing, we're slapping teams 5-3, and I'm all right with it.
Fair play, fair play. And in terms of the opposition, then, do you think we've set up in a way that could nullify them, or do you think we're going for a we'll score more than you and we'll see what happens sort of approach?
I got to be honest with you. I don't think that it would be foolish of me to say what I like and what I think about some things, because ultimately we've seen how Ole coaches for over 2 seasons now. So we know that his first mode of thinking is more pragmatic. Okay, let's be honest. He's more Jose than a Klopp. So Ole's thinking, let's keep it solid, hit on the break, get out, press them, win the ball, and beat them. And I think that's what frustrates fans sometimes, because we're way better in attack with our talent than we have been in defense as of late. But I'll say this: I think that everyone said most of what needs to be said about the other team, but we all know that man like Peaky Blinders himself. See, here's the thing: if you could keep Peaky Blinders quiet, right? If you could keep him quiet, and listen. For me, again, I'm biased. So for me, I don't like hardly any player that's not a United player when it comes down to me being biased, because I'm just like that. I'm old school. Get in the bin until you're on my team. But I'll say this. I think for me, after Bruno Fernandes this season, what I've seen, Peaky Blinders, a.k.a., Jack Shelby Grealish, may be the best player in the Prem right now on form, outside of Bruno. I mean, the guy is on the ball, off the ball. He gets stuck in. He plays hard. He runs everywhere. He dives when he needs to, flops, rolls around like someone shot him. He does all the dirty stuff. You know, I got time for it. I think that could you imagine those short socks at Old Trafford? I mean, listen, could you imagine the money that Ed Woodward could get in hair gel sponsorships alone by bringing in this guy? I mean, at the end of the day, he's tailor-made for United. Outside of the alleged stuff with driving cars, allegedly, besides that, we could do without that. You know, pictures with the birds and all that. I got time for it. I'm not mad. So for me, I love Jack. I wish that we'd have played the 12 o'clock match today, so that, you know, he had a little bit of effects from last night. Apparently, the FA didn't do us any favors by letting him play the late game. That way, he's probably right now as we speak being dunked in a bath of cold water right now. But if we could keep him quiet, and again, I like what Alan said about Ollie Watkins. This guy is like, he never stops. It's like he's everywhere. And I know that right now, as we speak, that Harry Maguire should be chewing on Tums, Rolaids, Pepto-Bismol, any kind of antacid, because Harry Maguire has no business trying to chase this guy around. So Eric Bailly, listen, trip him, kick him, as long as it's not in the box. Do what you need to do. But, you know, Ollie Watkins is everywhere. But the main guy to watch for me, Grealish and El Ghazi, because I don't know where El Ghazi came from, but this guy he's been firing this year. So if we kind of keep those three in check, you know, we're going to win.
Yeah, though I think El Ghazi's actually got 5 in 5, so he really has come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Jack Grealish definitely is a player that I love. The only reason we haven't got him in our team is because Villa stayed up. Simple as that. If they'd gone down, if that goal hadn't have, you know, the Sheffield United one, if that hadn't have been allowed, we probably have Jack Grealish lining up today against whoever we play. But yeah, it's one of those where, you know, he's a fantastic player, and at the minute he's usually being played on the left for Villa, and I think him playing in the middle today is a big statement. I think it's a very dangerous statement as well, because I think that is his main position. Yeah. But is this a case of we need to be less worried about them, focus on us? What do we do? And, you know, start the game as well as we can.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just curious if you've ever seen Sir Short Socks play. And he says his favorite position is as a box-to-box 8. And I don't remember seeing him play there much. So I'm just wondering. I know he plays wherever they ask him to. So I just wonder if you saw him there. But for me, I'm different, man. I think different. I'm from a different generation. I'm entitled. I'm used to, when I come into watching this sport in general, you know, United, I really picked this team because I was watching games deciding who to pick, and I loved how they played. And I mean, I loved just watching little Ginger Scholes running around looking like he was mad, ready to chew on people. Like I got time. You know, people were like, we are fighting and pushing people, and I got time for it. I'm a Yank. We like stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I started rooting for Manchester United. Plus, everyone's heard of the club, and I got spoiled. So I don't think about other teams when we play them. Really, when it comes to, I feel like we should always go out to slap people, and I'm deluded. I'm the first one to admit I'm deluded. I argued with someone on a stream the other night, a Ben Dipper fan, who had the audacity to want to talk trash to me about my squad versus his squad. I'm like, man, you need to chill. There's hardly anybody. I'll be honest with you. There's maybe 3 or 4 players, if they retired, denounced Liverpool and burnt their shirts and came back in 2 seasons, I'd consider. Besides that, get in the bin with them. I don't rate them guys. I don't rate them. So for me, I'm not worried about Villa. Like I said, Peaky Blinders is that guy. Besides him, I don't care. Bring it. We're slapping you. Hold on. This is one of the things I love that Europeans say, and I'm trying to add this to my vocabulary. We'll be having them. We'll be having them.
That's it. We'll be having them. Where are you? Well, let's have it. Let's have it. That's what I'm saying. Sean is definitely keeping the party going from last night. That's what it is. That's definitely what it is. Let's go with that. Him and Jack Grealish, they'll be going out at some point, I'm sure. Okay. So Brown Knight's in the comments. He's saying we're on 19 likes. We need 1 more to hit our target. Do it for Sean. Sean's here. Sean's bringing the energy. He's just said we're going to win the bloody league. What are you doing not liking the video? Come on, guys. Let's do it. Any final thoughts before we go into the game? Because we're about half an hour away from kickoff now. Any final thoughts that, you know, if you were speaking to United players right now in that dressing room, what would you tell them?
Oh, man, we can't say that on camera.
Oh, yes, we can. Go for it.
No, I would remind them. I would just simply say this. Listen, guys. It's just Villa. Okay, it's just Villa. If you continue a continuation of their name, it would be villains. And that's who they are today. They're coming into our house. No one comes into our house and does what they think they're going to do, what they want to do. You know, we're Manchester United. We come to bring the pain. And today, listen, I need y'all to do what you do. Bruno, make moves. Run all around like a crazy man. Just do what you do. Make people angry. Dive when you need to. Fall, roll around, act like you're dead. Look, hop, skip, and score penalties. LaBille, listen, let them talk about you if they want to. You're world class. You're a Rolls Royce, baby. Just go out there and purr. You know what, Scotty McPassion? Listen, you don't do a lot for Sean, but you got the best knee slides in the game. So do something and slide away. Harry Maguire, park your big fridge self right in front of David De Gea. Nothing gets by you today, and let's get it done. And Sir Marcus of Rashford, listen, we got time for it. There are hungry kids waiting on you to get this goal. Get the goal, feed the kids, and let's go top. Come on.
Absolutely love it. Before you go, give us a score prediction. I think I already heard it, but I'm hoping that's not the serious prediction.
No,
score prediction.
not the serious prediction. Actually, I was going to go 3-1, but since Alan already stole my thunder, I got to go first. I'm going to be a little more pragmatic and say 2-1. That way, I think that with 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, we're going to have it covered.
Fair enough. Thank you, everyone, for coming on the show and joining us. Thank you, Sean. Everyone go and follow him. He's fantastic. And we'll see you in a bit. Nice one, Sean. Okay, guys, we're about to wrap up the show. I want you to all like the video. Apparently, we have reached our 20 likes. Fantastic. Thank you all for getting involved. You are all a bunch of legends. Everyone's loving Sean's team talk. It's almost as good as my closing statements, you know, on the post match. It's almost as good. We'll have to get him. We'll get him a class. Everyone, get in your comments about the score predictions. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Martial, score the goals, please, says High Life. Yes. Martial. I want a Tony Martial goal. Stuart says this guy needs to be given the team talk. I'm psyched. Love it. Absolutely love it. 2-0 or 2-1, says High Life. Brown Knight says 3-0 United. And Stuart says, agree with Sean, going 2-1. And of course, Everton lost earlier today. So that means the title's on. 21 is coming, hopefully. Before I go then, I'll go through the team news once more in case you've just joined us. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to All for United. Make sure to do all that jazz. Follow us on Twitter at All for United. And also, before you all disappear, you'll be seeing me through the rest of the match day. Obviously, I will be doing the live tweets on the Twitter account at All for United using the hashtag AFU Matchday. Get involved. I'll be replying to your tweets. I'll be reading them all. So make sure to come and chat with me. Straight after that, we'll be on the post-match show. I'll be hosting that. And we've got some fantastic guests on there as well. And then straight after that one, we've got the live player rating show. So make sure to come and join us for that one as well. That's all interactive. We'll be getting your comments in. We'll be taking in your opinions, whether we win, lose, or draw. And hopefully we'll win the game. So then, before we wrap up the show, here is the team news once again. United starting 11 is David De Gea in goal. A back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. A midfield diamond, which is what I think it is, but it might not be, is Scott McTominay in the 6, Paul Pogba and Fred up ahead of him, Bruno Fernandes in the 10, with Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial up front. This could be a fluid lineup, of course. On the bench for United are Dean Henderson, Alex Telles, Axel Tuanzebe, Daniel James, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van de Beek, and Mason Greenwood. And Aston Villa's lineup, not too many surprises with that one. They've got Martinez in goal, Cash at right back. The centre-backs are Konsa and Mings, with Target at left-back, John McGinn and Douglas Luiz in midfield, with a three ahead of them of Traore, Jack Grealish, Super Jackie Grealish, El Ghazi, and Ollie Watkins up front. On the bench for them are Tom Heaton, Taylor, House, El Mohammadi, Gilbert, Nakamba, Ramsey, Davis, and Hurrihan. I wouldn't worry too much about Villa's bench, but that starting 11 is something that could cause us problems. United have to be on it today. A win takes us joint top with Liverpool. That's all the message needs to be from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Start the year as you mean to go on. Do not disappoint today. We have to win to keep pace. This is where we start to switch on now. We're into the second half of the season. This is where we need to start winning games. This is where we really need to pick up some form and win these kind of games. Remember, our away form is fantastic. If you can win this, it's another big message. I'll see you guys in the post-match. I'll see you guys on the live tweets. Make sure to come and join me. And until then, I'll see you in a bit. Cheers for joining us. 21 is coming.